What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today is November the 7th. Happy Friday, everyone. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data, don't really have that much before the bell. I have a couple of Fed speakers, but at 10 a.m. we do have the Michigan Consumer Sentiment. Forecast for that is 53, and regrettably that's been on quite the downtrend over the last couple of reports. So this is going to be a key inflationary data point. Aside from that though, we do have a couple of Fed speakers as well throughout the day, so that could cause some volatility. Already this morning, bright and early, you already have some Fed individuals saying that the government shutdown is going to cause some potential long-term harm to kind of businesses and the economy. And generally, I think we all knew that, right? If it does and is halted for a while, then that's going to eventually affect GDP. So not necessarily the best. This is just one of many kind of fears that is in the market. Plus, some companies did unveil their earnings. Still, the whole multiple type of scenario is looming over the market. So I think today is going to be a very interesting day, and we already are seeing a little bit of a pullback. So Dow is down 0.29, S&P down 0.3, NASDAQ down 0.5. So we'll kind of wait and see how things do play out. But in my opinion, once the market does open, I feel like we will be kind of pulling back a little bit. Potentially this data point, so the Michigan Consumer Sentiment, could be that saving grace. So that might kind of cause a nice recovery in the second half of the day, but it does look like we are going to be going down a little bit. Fear and greed index is under the extreme fear category, and so meaning people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily on the table, and that's very resemblant based on most of the stocks I'm going to be talking on. Starting off with SoFi. So it is down 1.9%. You can clearly tell that people see some value with SoFi because it is within the top 10 most heavily traded stocks in the pre-market. So a lot of big money is kind of looking at it. Possibly maybe to get out or whatever, but again, as I mentioned, a lot of stocks are getting quite heavily punished based on their multiples, and currently the forward PE for SoFi is sitting at 72.96. There could be arguments made that that's justified, but I think Wall Street is just punishing any stocks that kind of meet that criteria. So that's why SoFi's went down 9.68% yesterday, and it's down a little bit more this morning. Shorts, though, are returning about 28,000 shares already in the pre-market. So usually that's a good sign that they feel that today's push lower isn't really justified, but 8.35% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 98.8 million shares overall being shorted. One thing to take note of though, for those of you that actually watch my dedicated SoFi videos on one of my other YouTube channels, cost to borrow minimum is back at being positive, and this is kind of the highest I've seen it in a very long time. So 0.59, so meaning a broker out there is not really paying people to short SoFi. So kind of crazy, but with it right now at 2660, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So very wide gaps, and this is why we're seeing a lot of extra volatility with SoFi. But 2617 is going to be a key support. Just watch for that over the next couple of trading days. And then 2773. Moving on, NIO is regrettably getting dragged down with the broader market. I think a lot of individuals, including myself, we're just waiting for them to announce the date of their upcoming earnings. So it might be announced later today, if not early next week. But it is getting dragged down with the broader market, which is unfortunate. Shorts, on the other hand, are increasing 375,000 shares in the pre-market. 10.52% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 145.5 million shares. So it might be a little bit more of a rough day for NIO. And I think $7 has been that very frustrating level to kind of see NIO at. So I think maybe that's what their plan is, to really hit NIO hard to ensure all of those kind of open interest options at that $7 strike price are going to be expiring worthless. So possibly that's their plan right now, with a 704 trading between this pivot and this S1. So you'll have 714, 696, and then smack dab in the middle you'll have that $7, and that'll be linked to the options, the strike price. So let me know your thoughts on that. Moving on, this stock probably will be on a lot of people's radar because it's the most heavily traded stock, and it's actually doing fairly well because of their earnings. So it is up a solid 112%, now 116. So this one's getting a lot of attention. So again, if you're wanting maybe some swing trades or day trades, this one might be where it is at. Aside from that, shorts are increasing about 30,000 shares, so they're increasing their position by 49% already in the pre-market. So shorts will be very active today. It's still not heavily shorted, so only 4.1% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 92,000 shares, but clearly shorts are kind of going to be trying to suppress it at all costs. Cost to borrow average 389, so that's fairly high. That's an annual rate, not a daily rate. Right now with that 471 trading between this R3 and this R2. 415 is going to be a strong support, and then 536 is going to be the next round target / resistance. And realistically, I could see that being hit, that 536. But if you're trading this, definitely remember stop losses. In general, any stocks today, just remember stop losses. Aside from that, ticker is GRAB, so they are down slightly, but they're getting a lot of volume. And interestingly enough, no news, no SEC filings from them. So it is maybe just the market looking at their most recent earnings and maybe seeing some value. So they did have their earnings on the 3rd and came in line for the earnings per share, missed on the revenue slightly though by 40,000, so nothing too crazy. But it is definitely getting a lot of volume. 7.1% of the free float's being shorted, works to be 190 million shares. DTC being at 407 days. That does signal that shorts are very overextended. Right now with that 572, trading between this pivot and this S1. So 601 is going to be a key level to really watch for, and then 556. I don't really see either of them being touched. Possibly if, let's say, it gets dragged down with the broader market, you could see maybe this S1 being hit, but most likely it's just going to be referring and kind of sticking within this range. So that was the 1-day chart. Looking at the 4-hour for those of you that want to day trade and swing trade, just 579 and then 564, a little bit more of a tight knit viewpoint. And then this stock is getting a lot of volume. I don't know if people will be essentially buying the dip with this one, but Opendoor, so it is down 23%. They did put out their earnings. I did a video on another one of my other YouTube channels just breaking it down because they put out a lot right here. So they put out a 144, an S8, a prospectus, 8K, 10Q, and an 8K. So they are diluting from multiple different viewpoints. So ESPP, they're just straight up diluting as well. And then they are doing some very interesting warrant type of deal, and I feel like their plan for that is to get shorts off their back. Clearly it's not working because shorts are just feeding off of the dilution fear. So shorts are increasing 475,000 shares in the pre-market. 21.9% of the free float's being shorted, works to be 155 million shares. So this one, I think generally it was going to probably go down anyways, just with the broader market, but with all this dilution news, nobody likes that whatsoever. So with it at 503, smack dab in the middle between this S2 and this S3. 444 and then 576 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. This is as well very wide gaps because how volatile Opendoor's been. So a lot of these are going to be good day trades, but obviously heed caution, and don't forget to set stop limits and whatever else. Just protect yourself. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Despite the market selling off as crazy it has been over the last couple of trading days, I've been putting out some absolute bangers, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. Plus I've been putting out a lot of swing trades that it's very under the radar type of stuff, and they have a lot of good opportunity despite the market conditions. So again, worthwhile to pop over to the Patreon and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.